Stacey Widlitz joins us from London this morning. She is president at SW Retail Advisors, and she's also a CNBC contributor. And Stacey, there's been some interesting talk. We assumed that things got off to a really good start, and then yesterday, all of a sudden, people were kind of reassessing how the holiday shopping season is going so far. We know that those November retail sales reflected Sandy and some other one-time issues, but what do you think's really happening behind the scenes in terms of what's happening for holiday shopping?
Well, I think it's the same story every year. The promotions start early. Black Friday is always a big weekend. This year was no different, and it depends on who you listen to. NRF was very optimistic about their estimates. Gallup was not so much. And then we had the Sandy-related numbers. So I think there are clear winners and losers here. It's the Sandy blame-a-thon, clearly. But I think some of the winners stand out in terms of Walmart and certainly Limited.
Walmart and Limited, with those two being good ones, who do you think's really in trouble? Yesterday we saw Gap shares down by about 7%. Is that a reflection of the dividend they won't be paying that they're saying, or the special dividend? There was a rumor there'd be a special dividend there. They're not going to be paying that. Is there something more with what's going on at the stores there?
Well, I think everybody's nervous now, certainly. Again, after you saw the tough numbers in November, the question is, do retailers get nervous? Do they press the pedal in terms of more and more promotions? Gap yesterday was very much related to the potential of their dividend coming out, which, sounds like it's not going to happen. So that was certainly responsible for a lot of the weakness in the stock. But certainly in retail, you're looking at who is getting more promotional as we get closer to Christmas. We know that the consumer procrastinates. We have 2 extra days this year between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so are retailers going to get extra nervous and really try to gain that market share at the cost of margins?
Everywhere I go, though, I have to admit I've been out in the malls recently, and everywhere I go I see sales. Should I be worried about every single retailer?
No. I mean, sales are certainly, a lot of them are pre-planned for most of retailers. I think in the next couple of weeks, you really want to watch certain retailers and say, is it getting worse? Are you seeing those clearance promotions? Are you seeing 50% off? Is your email inbox filling up with free shipping, free gift wrapping, and all sorts of extra freebies? And then you really want to get concerned here. But, the next couple weeks is certainly a bit of a lull after Black Friday. The question is, did consumers spend a bigger portion of their dollars this holiday on those big bargains over Black Friday?
Hey, Stacey. Hi, it's Dan Greenhouse here. If you could just spend a second and just, there's been growing concern about the upper-income consumer and the retailers that target them. Are you seeing any shift over the last couple of weeks and through the holiday season in terms of those specific retailers?
Not really. I mean, we recently heard from Tiffany, and certainly they're talking a little bit about the high end of their business performing better than the aspirational silver part of the business. But in general, I think, it's no secret that the Asian consumer is slowing down. And a lot of these luxury brands get about 40% of their business in Europe and in the United States from that consumer traveling. So the question is, does that slow down next? But, really, I haven't seen really any change out in the market.
Stacey, you mentioned that we should be concerned about some of those where we are seeing sales that weren't planned. Who, in particular, should we worry about?
Well, I think you want to watch out for the teen space. So that's always one that gets very competitive. Certainly American Eagle's been outperforming Aeropostale, so you want to watch Aeropostale for extra promotions. And then the problem is, does everybody feel compelled to pile on and match the pricing? So again, this year a big theme is price matching, whether it's Best Buy or whether it's apparel retailers. Everybody wants to know that they're getting the best value. Last year it was free shipping. Now you add in price matching plus other freebies, and you're just getting a lower overall gross margin in the market.
So for people who are looking at retail stocks, you'd tell them to stay away from most of them? Are there any that you'd like beyond Limited?
Well, I think look at what Target is doing. So you have this lull for the 2-week period before Black Friday and Thanksgiving. They did a collaboration with Neiman Marcus. They have a lot of designer gifts for under $100. Certainly, they launched it over the weekend, and it wasn't a sellout. It wasn't like the Missoni launch, but that is something differentiated that's going to get the consumer in the stores during that lull period. Other retailers are not doing those kind of things. They're not thinking out of the box during this period. So I think, that's one to watch, especially after a disappointing November comp month number.
Okay. Stacey, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Becky.